Our info session. We're so excited to see you and to have you here. This is Dawg Camp. Woo!
We're showing a video.
So that was a cute little promo from this past summer Discovery Camp. We're going to kick it off with some facts. So what is Dawg Camp? At the university's hallmark extended orientation program, the mission of Dawg Camp is to assist incoming students in their transition to UGA by providing dynamic and meaningful experiences that serve as a springboard for successful acclimation and integration into the university community. So Dawg Camp is intended for the first year community, and it gives the first year students a small group aspect, and it connects them with a community of mentors. So there are two elements of Dawg Camp, the first being summer programming for incoming students, which are our camps, and then the second element being first year engagement. So the first being summer programming, we have all these different summer camps. Classic City, Fusion, Connect, Adventure, Rise, and Discovery. And so these are the camps that we're actively recruiting counselors for. So with Dawg Camp, there's a common curriculum, and there are 4 basic tenets. It's community building, faculty and staff engagement, self-discovery, campus and community involvement. So with whatever program a counselor assists in or is a counselor for, the curriculum is the same across, and so the setting just changes, but it's important to note that the curriculum with Dawg Camp is consistent no matter the setting.
All right, so we're going to go into a little more detail that covers all of the programs that Dawg Camp has. First, we just want to preface this with the fact that all of these details are available at dawgcamp.uga.edu, so this is just kind of a snapshot of our programs, but you can get everything from logistics to further information. If you just want to reread some of these things before you work on your application, it's all available online. We're going to touch on our special programs in the Dawg Camp Discovery. So our first program up is Classic City. We have one of our counselors actually here tonight. She's on LT. That's Stephanie Luna. She did Classic City this last summer. Classic City takes place in 2 sessions with 4 counselors, so that means 2 counselors per session and 15 students per session as well. Do you want to say anything on Classic City?
Yeah, Classic City, special place in my heart. It is a camp geared towards doing service in the Athens-Clarke County community through a social justice lens. And so when I was a counselor for it this past summer, I took my campers through Athens and we did different types of service throughout the community. And they talked about the social justice issues behind those service aspects.
So basically these students are getting plugged into UGA from that servant leadership, community service, and social justice standpoint. So a totally different lens than they'll experience at our other camps. And it all takes place in the backdrop of Athens, Georgia. So by the time they come to campus, they're more aware of service and opportunities that are available to them within this whole block of community that takes place as our home. Our counselors for Dawg Camp Classic City also serve at Dawg Camp Discovery as crew. So just because you're doing your own session in the month of June, you also get to be a part of our whole staff at Dawg Camp Discovery in late July. So that is Classic City. The next camp we're going to touch a little on is Dawg Camp Fusion. We have a Dawg Camp Fusion counselor with us tonight, and that is phenomenal team of Grace Garrett. We have one session of Dawg Camp Fusion, so that's 2 counselors, and it has 15 students. This camp also takes place with the backdrop of Athens, Georgia, and it takes more of a lens within Athens that covers culture. So students are getting plugged totally into the scene of Athens from a cultural standpoint, and they understand what it's actually like to live in the classic city by the time they're a student. Our whole week-long camp takes place during AthFest, which is a huge music festival here, if y'all have not heard of it previously. They also get to go see things like the Georgia Theater. They get to experience eating at restaurants in Athens and other aspects of our community that you otherwise probably would not get experienced to prior to coming and living at the University of Georgia. Do you want to add anything, Grace?
Yeah, Fusion is a really great way to explore the off-campus, or to get out of the on-campus bubble. There's so much more to Athens than UGA, and it's a really great way to explore food, music, and really see what it means to be an Athenian.
Yeah, and so the counselors at Dawg Camp Fusion also get to serve as crew for Dawg Camp Discovery, which is later in July. So once again, these special programs kind of take a different lens on what it's like being a student here at the University of Georgia, which is extremely amazing, and they're getting this beautiful experience like all the rest of our campers yet. The next camp we're going to touch a little bit on is Dawg Camp Connect. Did anyone do Connect in the room? Possibly? No? Well, Dawg Camp Connect is a camp that's specifically targeted towards transfer students at the University of Georgia. It takes place in one session with 2 counselors and 15 students overall. These counselors we ask to be transfer students, so if you know any, if you are a transfer student and are interested, definitely consider applying to be a counselor, because these students need different targeting because they have a whole different college experience than a first year would that's coming in that first year. But we want them to feel totally comfortable coming to UGA and understand that they're a part of this whole Bulldog Nation. So we get to touch on these themes that are a little different than coming in that very first year of students. These counselors also get to serve at the very end of the summer with Dawg Camp Discovery. The next camp we're going to touch a little bit on is Dawg Camp Adventure. There are 2 sessions of Dawg Camp Adventure, so that's 4 counselors in total, very similar to our Classic City camps, and you have 1 additional student per session, and we love another first year, so that means you get 16 students. Do we have any adventure kids in the room, possibly? Adventure counselors out there? Yeah, we got some. So Dawg Camp Adventure starts at UGA. They're getting assistance directly from our outdoor rec center here. So you're not getting totally thrown into the wilderness on your own. You're not going to die before you get to campus. But if you're interested in things like outdoors in a totally different environment for building on these community themes, Dawg Camp Adventure gives you that. So you start at UGA, and then it takes place in the backdrop of North Carolina and covers all sorts of different outdoor activities, which is very interesting because you're basically getting to build a community, learn about transition issues, and learn about UGA resources, all while being somewhere very unique, which I think is so beautiful. These counselors also get to serve at the very end of the summer with the rest of our staff at Dawg Camp Discovery as crew. The next special program we're going to touch a little bit on is Dawg Camp Rise. This is our newest program that Dawg Camp has started to pioneer these last couple years. We have 2 counselors for Rise, and it all takes place during 1 week here in Athens with 15 students. Rise is a cohort-based program that includes our Rise Scholars. So these are freshmen that are basically embarking on a year-long journey, and these freshmen are typically underrepresented at the University of Georgia. So we want them to feel totally included and also understand that they deserve to be academically enhanced and have the same opportunities that everyone else does on this campus because they are a part of Bulldog Nation as well. So Dawg Camp Rise is our newest camp, as we said, and they basically get to start their Dawg Camp experience in this week and then continue it all throughout the year. So if you feel as though this is a population that you connect with or have any interest in, consider Rise. We had a wonderful first year, and we are so excited to conquer this next one. Our counselors for Rise also get to work on Dawg Camp Discovery as crew. And the last camp we're going to touch a little bit on is Dawg Camp Discovery. This is our largest session of Dawg Camp that takes up a large majority of staff. It's all in one session at the very end of July at FFA Camp in Covington, Georgia. So our students start here in Athens, but are immediately shipped off to kind of out in the wilderness. They're cabins, don't worry. But it has 250 students. Discovery is basically this 3-day weekend, so it's actually our shortest Dawg Camp, but it's jam-packed with everything from community building to talking about UGA resources to going over transition issues and plugging these students into starting their college experience with people by their side. So all the same themes that our other camps touch on, just in a shorter time span and with more students present. We work in a small group structure that all culminates into color groups. If you've seen any photos of Dawg Camp, you've probably seen some kind of Olympics, shaving cream, that all takes place at this camp. So it's full of competition. We talk about themes of vulnerability, and it really kicks off that growth literally the week before our students are stepping foot on campus. But what I love about Dawg Camp is that every single one of these camps carries these themes across the board. So whatever you're thinking about applying for, whatever you were a camper for, they're still getting that same experience either way. And they're gonna start on campus knowing that Dawg Camp is here for them. So yeah, we're gonna go into a little more details about all things Dawg Camp, but dawgcamp.uga.edu if you need more details.
All right, so the second part of Dawg Camp is first year engagement. And basically, being a Dawg Camp counselor only begins in the summer. Like, as a counselor, our journey really starts once we get onto campus. All right, so there are a lot of opportunities to engage in first year programs or first year events. The first of which is the Dawg Camp class, which is offered during fall semester. The Dawg Camp class builds on a lot of the things that we learn at Dawg Camp, and counselors have the opportunity to serve as mentors for the class. We also have first year events such as our tailgate, our Dawg Camp reunion, speed friending. So there are a lot of ways to continue that engagement with your campers once you're on campus. And then the biggest one is peer mentorship. Just making sure that your campers are acclimating to life at UGA, and that their transition is going as smoothly as possible. And also extending from being a mentor to being a friend, because like that is such a beautiful thing about being a Dawg Camp counselor, is that you start with a mentorship and can really work into a friendship. All right, Dawg Camp counselor responsibilities. So as a Dawg Camp counselor this semester, y'all are going through the application process. So y'all are almost done with that, and the fact that applications are due Thursday. So hopefully y'all are getting on that. We will continue with like the application process the next couple of months. I'm thinking next month or so we'll have group interviews the last week of October / first week of November, and individual the second and third week, and then we come out with decisions November 16th. And then at the end of the semester, we also have the DC staff meet and greet, which is a great first opportunity to get to know each other. For spring semester, we start off the semester by attending a staff retreat, which will be January 11th through the 13th this year. We go up to FFA, and it's just a great way for staff to bond and get to know each other a little better. Honestly, one of my favorite memes from this past year. You also attend weekly trainings, and those are every Tuesday from 5:30 to 7:30. And trainings are a really essential part of preparing to be a Dawg Camp counselor. You learn everything that you need to know to be a counselor, and they're really formative. You also need to attend Staff Workday, which we'll have one in March and April. And those are just longer days where we build on stuff that we'll be doing at Discovery. We also have time for like color group meetings and crew meetings, and that's really important. And then also camper recruitment, because we can't do Dawg Camp if we don't have campers. It's really important that as a counselor, you're reaching out to as many first years as possible, so that as many people as possible can experience the DC magic. Summer's super fun. We start off June with Classic City, then Fusion, and then in July we have Connect, Adventure, and Rise and Discovery. So if you are a special programs counselor, you need to be in Athens or North Carolina for our adventure friends during those weeks. And then you're also required to come back to Athens for Staff Workday and Crew Workday if you are on special programs, and those will be July 24th and July 25th. And then July 26th through the 28th, we have Dog Camp Discovery, which we all go to, really great time. And we also do a debrief when we get back. And then fall, we want you all to attend freshman welcome and first year events. Like I said earlier, first year events are just really formative to building that dog camp, like counselor camper relationship, and like building on that mentorship throughout the year. There are like a lot of first year events that you can attend, and then we also do a dog camp banquet at the end of the semester.
All right, so just some things about dog camp, what your goal will be as a dog camp counselor. A big thing about being a counselor is recruiting. So counselors are on the front lines of camper recruitment. Basically, it's y'all's voices that the potential campers hear. So it can be anything from sliding into DMs to tabling at admissions events when high schoolers come in with their parents and just explaining to them what dog camp is. It's a really good experience as just like a student and getting life experience in recruiting, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's a big role for counselors, and that's how we get the word out about dog camp. Did anybody here get a DM about dog camp? Yeah, okay, cool, nice. Another thing is just being a role model for incoming students, kind of like Grace said, just being available and invested in their lives, interested, somebody that they can look up to, someone that they can trust, and making sure that you're checking in and being their friend throughout the whole year. It's not just about the summer, it's about the relationship after. There's some common misconceptions about what it means to be a dog camp counselor. So the first one, what if I didn't go to dog camp as an incoming student? That's totally fine. I didn't go to dog camp and I was a counselor this past summer. A lot of people haven't done dog camp coming in to be a counselor, and that's totally fine. There's a new to dog camp brunch, and so you go and meet with some of the LT, and they just tell you, kind of fill you in on like what it's like to be a dog camp counselor, what it's like to go to dog camp. So it's all right if you haven't gone. That doesn't scare us. Please apply. Do I have to be super extroverted or outgoing to be on staff? The answer is no. We want all sorts of kinds of people. We want a diverse staff. You don't have to be loud and outgoing and a big personality. That's good, but also we value everybody. So come as you are. What if I am already working or interning? That's okay. Just make sure that the dates that are on the application you can make. So basically you just have to make sure that there aren't any conflicts with your summer commitment. I studied abroad and was still able to make it back for dog camp discovery.
We've had people literally do everything. Someone's had an internship in California this past summer, and they literally flew in for their camp and then flew back out to finish
So
their
it's totally
internship.
fine. Just make sure that you have like the dates are free for dog camp.
Yeah.
What if being a counselor just doesn't fit into my summer or fall schedule? That's fine. If you're too busy or it's just not going to work out for you right now, we have this cool thing called Dog Camp Ambassador Team, and that's a really cool program that I'm interning for a dog camp right now, and I'm kind of reworking the program, and it's going to be something really fun this year. And so if you don't want to be a dog camp counselor or it just doesn't work out for you this semester, that's always another option for you guys.
All right, the application process. So applications are due October 18th, so this Thursday. And so you guys are all here at an info session, mandatory info session, so you can check that box off. Group interviews will happen October 29th and 30th and November 1st through the 2nd. And then individual interviews are the 25th for returning counselors and November 9th through the 13th for first-time counselors. And our decisions will be released November 16th.
All right, any questions?
I'm gonna say something real quick. We should have led with this, but we're gonna say our names really quickly.
Oh, am I sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm Graham Missel. I'm a second year, and I'm a color group leader this year.
I'm Stephanie and Luna. I'm a second year, and I'm a color group leader as well.
I'm Grace Garrett. I'm a third year, and I'm also a color group leader.
My name's Esther. I'm a fourth year, and I'm interning for dog camp this semester.
And our beautiful crew leader, Chelsea Iranian, could not be here tonight, but she hopes you all apply for dog camp because she's so excited to meet you.
So now that you know who we are, do you have any questions?
Can you kind of go over what crewing means for the Discovery? If you are in a special programs counselor?
So Grace and I were actually on crew this summer. So if you're on crew for Discovery, it means that you did a special programs before Discovery, and then while you're at Discovery, you serve as crew. So you kind of do a lot of logistics behind the scenes. At that point, you would have already had your campers for the summer and for the year. And so you work with the logistics of Discovery. You kind of act as that like support system for the counselors when they do it for Discovery. It's a really cool thing. You get walkie-talkies. It's a really good experience.
No, it's a really like fun way to be a part of Discovery. It's like different. I was really nervous going into it because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have campers. Will it be as fun? But it is so much fun just because you do get to be that support system. You get to have little like pulse checks with like the people you run into, where you'll go up and be like, hey, how you feeling? And like it's so incredible to hear them like talk about their campers and how things are going, like after you've experienced it yourself. There's just like a lot of pride, which is like kind of crazy and weird, but super cool. And then you get to do like set up chairs. Like we had a dance party when everyone was doing their identity walk.
Yeah, a cool thing we plan is crew plans Olympics, which is a huge element of Discovery. So we plan the Olympic Games and like oversee it and run it. Yeah.
So if you apply for 2 programs, what's kind of the deal with that? Do you have to get your first choice, or like how does that work out?
Yeah, I guess, so with like ranking what camps you want, on the app it like lets you say like, oh, like my first choice is like Discovery, my second choice is Fusion, like my third choice is Adventure. So that's something that we kind of like look at when we are looking over applications, but it really plays more into individual interviews. Like I know for me, last year applying, I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to do Discovery or Fusion. And then when I went in for my individual, they asked me, and I said Fusion. And I don't know how much that plays into the decision process. But I think it's kind of a combination of like who they think is like best fit for that role. Where if you put Fusion or something like that, or another special program, and then like rank Discovery second, maybe if they put other people in those special programs, then like you can still get Discovery. That's kind of my thought.